Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is METT-TC Dependent. I am right now playing through the second mission of the American campaign, Flashpoint campaign, Southern Storm, which should be releasing on Steam on the April 20th. If you're watching this from the future, then I hope it's better there than it is here. Uh, but anyways, this mission's called Tall Order. I take a kind of a battalion task force or reinforced battalion task force uh, out to defend the town of Göppingen and its vital river crossings from what looks like at least a motor rifle regiment with a divisional artillery group coming from the north. Um, so we'll go over that. It's an hour and 40 minutes into the battle. If you've watched the earlier videos, you know where stuff is, but I've got tanks covering this hill and infantry in this town. More infantry in this little town up here. I got my artillery down here doing artillery things. My reserve is a company of infantry over here. I got some scouts rolling in. I should have more reinforcements in the form of an armor company rolling in about 15, 20 minutes. And then I've got the cav covering this flank, although if the enemy starts rolling big forces through here, we're going to have some trouble. Basically, I can't afford to defend everywhere, and I'm not trying to. I'm trying to be flexible and react to wherever the enemy is. Well, be proactive and keep myself from reacting. Anyways, due to the nature of my life right now, I'm playing this right after work in my car because it's when I got a spare couple minutes. Um, so yeah, if my laptop starts running low on batteries, that'll be the sign to go home because traffic is really bad right now, and it just makes more sense to hang out as opposed to try to sit in a parking lot and feel stupid driving home through stupid traffic. Anyways, hope you all have a good time. Thanks for watching. If you like what I'm making, subscribing would be nice. Uh, if you don't, then don't. I'm not your dad. I don't know. Anyways, just a quick recap as to what we set before we ended the last video. I'm having the artillery drop two minefields right here with their field artillery scatterable minefields because it looks like we have at least a motor rifle battalion coming down this road. They're pretty much out of the line of sight of most of my tanks that are still at least halfway intact, which is, yeah, okay, these guys can shoot exactly this one spot. That is it. Um, and the mortars can't really hit anything around there either. These guys, nope, nothing. I should have them push up a little bit, be able to get some shots off. These ITO launchers can get some kills, but the real meat and potatoes is gonna be these Abramses, which I will have push up because hopefully they can do something. Although what'll probably happen is they'll probably just get eaten by helicopters or something. Anyways, other than that, the Cav has been getting their nose bloodied, but they really fucked up some enemy over here. These tanks are hopefully pulling back fast enough. 3 tanks from Charlie Troop 1-4 Cav. The other Cav scouts in that area got kind of schwacked. These Brads are pulling back. They're going to serve as kind of a blocking position for this extra little fork in the road. And these tanks are going to roll back and set up for my next kind of culminating battle on this left-hand side. I'm going to relinquish these victory points because there's not much I can do with it. Not much I can do to defend it. They're already right there, and they're rolling in force. It's probably close to a battalion coming down that road. But what's going to happen, anyways, is I'm going to have all my Cav guys kind of roll back and set up for whenever they come out of this forest, they're going to get a really rude surprise. We've got TOW launchers at fairly close range, Cav scouts in this town. We're going to have mortars, and I'm going to have the mortars drop on them, hang some bombs. But one of the things that I've told other people when they ask about this game is like, if you think is now the time to do it, then the time is rapidly passing. Like you're about to run out of the opportunity is about to pass. And so I am wondering right now, because we don't have a ton of force right here, if it's not time to use my reserve. But the problem is, do I put it against the battalion up here that's coming down this way? And these guys are not in a point. They're going to outflank this position pretty hard. They're not in a position to be able to deal with it. And by the time they get there, they're probably going to be gone. Actually, I'm probably not even going to put them there. I'm probably going to... Yeah, if they move up here, they'll be able to deal with all of it. Well, if I put them over here... Is that... Yeah, I'll put them there. That way they'll put up and they'll be able to hit all of that. But if I move them over here, they'll definitely be able to stop this, like that battalion. You know, that company in the defense, you know, but I have to move them now. However, if I move them here, they can set up in these woods, they can set up in this town, they can set up in this town, or in these woods, and solidly stop anything coming down here. But I can't do both. I gotta do one or the other, and that is something that I am wrestling with. And then also the enemy's sending troops down this road, which has got VX all over it, or other nasty, nasty, nasty chemicals. I saw like open top trucks, like not even NBC sealed vehicles, so sucks to suck. I'm gonna have my new scout platoon kind of set up in this area, and they've got tows and brads, and they should be able to eat them up pretty good. Anyways, I think I'll get right to it. You know, and we'll do the next bit of game resolution. It should be another pretty short one. I don't know how long the battery on my laptop is going to last. But yeah, I appreciate you watching. Stick around. I'm going to try to go through all of this campaign, and then maybe the East German campaign or the Czech campaign. Both of those have some unique things going for them. Anyways, let's go. 33 minutes about to happen. 13 tanks rolling down that way. That's basically a company. So day has started. It is light rain. Good. The Brads are engaging shit at long range. Yeah, there's at least a battalion coming through there. Good. They're shooting the anti-tank vehicles. Very important. Good. So it takes 40 rounds fired of these minefields in order for the minefield to be fully set up. Oh my god. Oh my god. They all just died. Don't roll your guys into persistent chemical weapons. They're probably going to try and push them through, but, you know, it's probably one of those situations where, like, they didn't know what they were up against. I haven't seen them try to do this before. Like, push it down there. Or if any, like, the one time I think I did, I played this match I've played this mission a couple times. The one time I think I saw them try to push guys down there it was like 2 or 3 reconnaissance vehicles only. And so, like, wasn't terribly surprising. You know, they lost like 1 or 2 of them, and then there was just a weird BRDM roaming around. Those 2 Brads are putting in work. As anybody who's played Gunner Heat PC knows, Bradley's hull down with long sight lines are scary. You don't even know the tow's coming at you till you get eaten. Okay, guys, yeah, I need that minefield. Okay, mortars are doing something in theory. Damn! Lost an Abrams to that T-62 MV. Well, that's probably not a catastrophic kill. Once again, like I mentioned this in the previous one, this game, you know, is one of the damn it. It's one of the few games that actually incorporates like mission kills and mobility kills and stuff into how it deals with vehicle losses, which is a very unique perspective if you're comparing it to other games. All right, so there's the full minefield. Well, looks like the enemy artillery is focusing on like actively supporting their infantry, which is actually good for me because the last thing my guys have dug in pretty deep, but what I'm really nervous about is losing my artillery. I'm confident that my guys can hold them at least for a while, but if they and they'll take losses. My guys will take losses, yeah, but they'll give better than they get. And but if I run out of artillery, I don't have that ability to hit them. Oh shit! Well, there's a couple fucking scout vehicles probably. Yeah, with some Strellas. Weird. They're all fucking coded in VX probably. Okay, the second minefield is coming up. Good. Alpha Company's at least bringing the pain. We're shooting at those tanks in the minefield. Good. That is exactly what needs to happen. Don't let them get off easy. I'm nervous about those guys going down near my brigade headquarters, although it's just 2 PCs and a Strela team. Okay. Depends on how they want to try and handle this hill on the right-hand side. Oh, fuck. They must be low on ammo, so they're trying to do a combat resupply. No. Each of these hexes is supposed to be roughly 500 meters in size. So, essentially, that might evolve for this armor platoon. One of the tanks pulls back from the line and yeah, pull back. Damn, guys, fuck. Well, those fucking T-62 MVs are fucking really proven good investments. I don't know. Fuck, man. Yeah, fuck those guys. Fucking artillery is a valuable shit. Alright, guys are pulling back smartly. Good. Good. Second minefield. I did not want to take that many tank losses, so that is bad. Oh, all right. Well, looks like the battery situation is getting bad. So what I will do is I will pause this, save it, pause the recording, and then edit it in my first ever edit, making videos. Anyways, yep, it should be completely seamless for you, the viewer, through the magic of cinema, every frame and painting, etc. All right, appreciate it. See you soon. And we're back. Man, I bet that was seamless. Anyways, guys, so thanks for bearing with me. Batteries charged. Let's roll. Uh, we have a suspected enemy HQ up here. Somebody's talking on the radio too much. High priority barrage request has been submitted to the Fire Support Control Center. Hopefully somebody will get those 155s on them. That'll really increase their command cycle time and maybe let me get inside their decision loop. That would be a massive help. Because if I can stop reacting to them and start getting proactive, start actually doing some counterattacks, I might be able to kind of turn around some of the issues I've been facing. Something I don't like is when you reload a scenario like this, it gets rid of a lot of like the craters and destroyed vehicles and stuff. But I kind of like the seasoning it gives a battlefield. Anyways, let's roll. High priority. No, go on. Resume. Yes, I know. All right, let's go. Mortars, hanging bombs. My cav guys are pulling back. My scouts down there are engaging the enemy recon troops who made it through the chemical. Which, wait, 1 second. I have to pause. So, 1 second. Boy, makes for really compelling viewing. Oh, there we go. That's why they're all gone. Yeah, it makes a really compelling viewing when I'm getting rid of stuff and not knowing how to do it. Anyways, let's resume. Alright, hanging bombs, getting kills. Stacking bodies. Enemy artillery's coming in. Hopefully my counter battery. There we go. They killed those scouts that made it through the chemical. I don't think a lot more of their guys are going to be coming through there. I think you're going to take too many losses from there, or they're just not going to be coming. Oh, never mind. I speak as the fucking devil. It's probably more recon units or something similar. Maybe a Strela team or something. Getting another kill. Dropping them in on that same spot. I guess they didn't move very much after I hit them the first time. Alright. So the tanks are in position. The scouts are going to pull back. I mean, it's smart. No, get out of the way. They're not made to engage in, like, knife fighting. Day has started. It is overcast. Visibility 10K. It's 60 degrees out. Well, could be worse weather. Alright. So that is what a Strela team, so a surface air missile team made it through. Boy, are they out of their element. Good. Oh no, here come the Hinds again. Fuck. How did we not see those? There we go. Dropping it right on that enemy HQ. That should cause some problems. Good. Hang some bombs there, 120s. Yikes. Don't like that. How'd they know he was there? Their scouts, obviously. Alright, well. Damn it. Got lost to Vulcan. Those are... I cannot afford to lose those. I mean, not like they're doing me any good. I should have made a better attempt to put them in a good spot, but... Man, those tanks are gonna get fucked up. That's not good. And it's where the bombs falling. Yeah, they're falling on these surface air missile guys, these ground pads. Good. Got one of them. I swear to God, if my M109s don't start doing some counter battery pretty soon, I'm gonna be peeved. I think we're facing the full motor rifle regiment. I haven't seen much in the way of BMPs, so that makes me think we're facing a motor rifle regiment. That is made up of 3 battalions. Oh, nice. It's 4,000. Four clicks. Yeah, right. Whatever. I'll take it. The motor rifle regiment is made up of 4 battalions of 4 battalions of infantry and then 1 battalion of armor. Boy, I'm having a dumb moment. All of this, like all the Soviet organization and everything, is in Army Field Manual 100-1-3, I believe, which is like the least E4 thing I think I'm going to say all year, but but what I'm working on right now is going to be a chart similar to what like a battalion intel or a brigade or division or corps or whatever intel officer would have, where you figure out what exactly you're facing and you can get a picture of how much is left, what strength they're at, because I'm working on a chart that I can kind of be interactive with, that has like which units I've faced, which units I'm still, the enemy still has at full strength, like uh, uh, you know. All right, so I have the armor down here, that trooper armor, and I have their Fisters, I have some more Vulcans, and I have some M109s. I am going to make sure their Fisters get a move on, because I could use people who are really good at calling for fire. And I could use some real skilled scouts. Do I have a good spot over here? I kind of do. I'm actually going to have them go over here. No. Yeah, I didn't really want to put them here, but yeah, I'm going to move this point back this way because I'm actually sending them off into some dumb direction. Second of all, these guys gotta fucking up and hustle. I think the armor should be able to get them some level of, like, let them kind of stand on their own a little bit. That Stinger guy taking out that Hind was inspired. That was exactly what needed to happen. However, what I think, based on the direction that that company is moving, that enemy company is moving, they might be trying to push this way, which I don't know how well that'll work because there's a lot of just valleys and hills and stuff like that. But I really don't want them using these roads. So I am going to push Delta Company, my mobile reserve, up in there. So when will it do it? This is arriving at 0641. It'll arrive in a little under half hour. So that means they'll be moving pretty soon. But, you know, a half hour is a long time, and the enemy's already on the move. I've probably waited too long, which fucking sucks. Actually, I'm not going to have them screen there. I'm going to have them screen there. But, yeah, that sucks. There's not much I can do about that. And that's just the way it is. You know, in a different game, you'd say, that's XCOM, baby. But in this game, you just say, that's life. All right, so I need these tanks to pull back further because they've been R&Ring a little bit, which is good. Love to see it. Hate to see them. You need to do 10 minutes. You shifted 9% readiness. What about 12? 13? Yeah, we'll do 13 minutes of R&R. You guys got to bounce because you're on your own. I don't trust the enemy not to roll down this road. Little bit of cheesy game mechanics. This would turn to red if the enemy's already there, but I don't necessarily want to rely on that. So I'm going to go down here. Market is on call. The mortar's going to pull down. Just pulling the mortars back. Yeah. Then these tanks will come in to support there. They'll be able to provide like a near ambush on anybody going down that road, but I don't think they're going to go down that road. I think they're going to come down this one. Yeah, so I think Charlie Troop 1-4 Cav is still able to hang on. I think I'm going to push Alpha 334 to the right, and I think I need them to move quickly. I think the position that stands out to me, because it looks like the enemy's maybe flanking north over this, through this open area, or maybe around here, or coming off this road, because it's coming down this way. I saw guys pushing off the road this way once they realized that this is a death trap. They still have at least a battalion up here that's been degraded, but it's still of a decent strength. So I think the way to go is going to be to also come up here. I mean, this is the headquarters I'm giving directions to, so I'm going to have them go in there and hold. And then their first platoon. I'm probably going to have them try to cover both avenues. So come in here. I'm going to probably set up one here, or maybe one here, maybe one there, and then one platoon over this way or something, like covering the north. Or maybe, yeah, that way, I don't know, that way we cover guys coming down this road and also guys coming this way. But I don't really think, I'm not too worried about that because Bravo Company, you know, despite them being smacked around a little bit, which I am having them pull back to here, I'm going to have them resupply for 24 minutes, which will get them up to a high level of ammo and not a lot of supply, but that is fine. Okay. But after I move all this armor, I'm gonna really need to make sure that all the headquarters move, basically. Yeah, actually, just in case they are flanking that direction that I said, I'm going to put them there. That way, I mean, I'm going to assume they're going to have some rear security, or they're going to have somebody calling like, hey, they're coming down the road behind us, and they'll be able to pick both primary and alternate firing positions to be able to shoot down this main road and also be able to shoot down the road behind them. It kind of puts them in the middle, which sucks to be sandwiched by the bad guys. But you got four M1 Abramses. I mean, if anybody deserves to get sandwiched, it's you guys. You can handle it. So am I putting them in the same spot? I am putting them in the same spot. I don't want to do that. Who is in this stack? It's the Sams. I want them back over here. Yeah. I also don't want these Abramses moving that way. I want to keep them away from my Fisters because my Fisters are very important to me. And two withdrawing tanks attract a decent amount of enemy firepower. And so I would rather they not. Yeah, I don't want to put them in this forest because the enemy is, I think, moving infantry slowly this way, and if they get caught that way, like the Fisters will be able to see them first, but if these tanks are just sitting in there, they're kind of unsupported. I mean, not like we have a whole lot of support otherwise, but yeah, this way it'll allow them to flank around, which, love it or hate it, it's not a terrible idea. I'm really not that worried about enemies in these areas right now. The Fister should be able to spot them, and yeah, I am gonna bring these Falcons over here, though. You just get them a little bit better arcs of fire. Is that all for the armor? It is. What about these Falcons? I want them. I am still worried about enemy air. I'll have them here. And they can provide like direct fire support, which God knows I would rather not be on the return on the back end of a Vulcan, but yeah, on the wrong end of a Vulcan. That's the word I was thinking of. All right. Anyways, time for the next turn. It's we're halfway through the mission so far. We're at 78% of starting forces, and we've dealt some pretty rough blows to the enemy. So I'm feeling confident with this, but confidence has a way of correcting itself. Let's just say. All right, let's go. Both my artilleries are shooting at things that I think are decent ideas. Well, what is he shooting at? I don't think that's where I want him to be shooting. I would rather he shoot conventional rounds at basically this spot, and then he go to counter battery. Because hopefully, and then move the headquarters. I almost didn't. They probably would have gotten smoked. Screen. Wait. Where was the enemy headquarters? I got a high priority. Okay, they already took losses. They probably didn't move very far, but I don't need to spend time, firing all scattershot. Like, I need to conserve my artillery. I need to, make the most of it. I thought it was still pretty recent. Anyways, let's go. Next turn. So that's our enemy artillery falling on some of these, on where these scouts were. Well, fuck you, buddy. Alright, that wasn't great, but wasn't terrible. I'll take it. Got some kills. Nice, nice. Damn, they moved too quick. I was a dummy. Whenever I try to fucking snipe units like this with the artillery, like, kind of predict where they're going, I end up missing horribly. So, let that be a lesson to you. And there's a headquarters up there. Although I doubt I would have hit it as well. What the fuck? Oh. Oh. Poor fuckers. They're driving into the fucking chemical area. Like, I think it looks like they're pushing, like, at least a company. That's probably the rest of whoever was pushing on the left. The Cav probably didn't need to abandon that point, but I don't know. I feel like it was pretty obvious that they were going to be outflanked. I'll move headquarters 416 infantry next turn. I don't know, I'm paranoid about that. Oh, yep, they lost a Vic in the minefield. Sucks to suck. Enemy artillery blind firing as well. I really need those infantrymen to get there, because there's a lot of hate coming down these roads. No, don't go down the... Oh, I swear to God. If some fucking company commander or platoon leader gets a bright idea, some fucking platoon leader got lost. I swear to God. And if you take your fucking boys into the VX, you're gonna do it. I hate you. Look at that guy right there. So what the game saw is the game saw like a traffic jam, and it's like, I'm gonna go around. And the game didn't weigh not going into the chemical enough. Yeah, persistent chemical contamination. Surprise. In theory, their 113s should be like NBC protected, but like in reality, how many of those seals can you guarantee worked? Like work? And their level of combat readiness is going to be atrocious, because now, even if they got their mop gear on, like their mop gear on quickly, right? Now they're fighting without. See, there it is. 2 sub-units lost. Shoot the fucking stinger, dick. So now they're going to have to take time to decontaminate. They're not going to be able to touch the outside of the Vic without, like, if you do without your chemical gear, chemical protective equipment, like, you're dead, or you're out of the fight permanently. Like, even with an atropine auto injector to, like, fix somebody who's got nerve gas on them, like, you're fucked up. So that's kind of infuriating. And fuck that hind. Good on you guys. Well, Delta Company's headquarters got smacked. And that sucks. I mean, thankfully most of the actual line units are able to get to where they need to go, or mostly. And there goes that Stinger unit, damn it. What I need is my counter battery to start bringing the hate. Or I need to be able to call in fucking ICM. Good on you guys. Alpha Company making hay. Not letting other people get them down. Anyways, it's 3 motor rifle battalions and a tank battalion. Just like a motor rifle division is 3 motor rifle regiments and a tank regiment. So we are currently, based on my estimation, facing one of the 3 motor rifle regiments of the 48th Motor Rifle Division. The 48th Motor Rifle Division is, I believe, one of their mobile groups. So a second echelon unit aimed at kind of surging through the gaps in the the gaps made by the first echelon units through the remnants of what first armored, is left, because they were holding the border really, and they're surging through. They're going to try and exploit the rear area and get to places like Stuttgart, get to places like across the Tübingen, all that. And I'm not going to let them, because my brigade fucking makes a difference. Fuck those guys. Yeah, get them. Smack them. But yeah, so in this scenario, first Infantry Division, like 3rd Brigade, 1st Infantry Division, are essentially the only significant NATO unit, like between a lot of rampaging Soviet forces and Stuttgart. And most of 1st ID is a reforger unit coming from Fort Carson and everywhere else. Is Carson, right? Yeah, whatever, who cares? They're coming from the U.S. Meanwhile, Fort Riley, I believe. Uh, who cares? I don't pretend to know this shit. But anyways, this I've read some things where people mark down 1st ID as, well, 3rd Brigade 1st ID as being part of 3rd Corps, which maybe for some battle plans they're part of 3rd Corps, but I've always interpreted it as being 1st ID, like 3rd Brigade 1st ID is kind of their own, like, part of 7 Corps and kind of a mobile reserve for 7 Corps. And maybe what the what I was reading meant is that I'm gonna have them move. I'm gonna have them go to on call, and then what I'm actually gonna have them do is go to counter battery. Although I really should have them resupply and get back up above 50-60% of ammo, but shit's going all kinds of pear-shaped, and I need their firepower. But so like the way I interpreted it, because their basing was like further behind the lines, they're they are relying on these reforger units, which based on the way I read a lot of like NATO battle plans and other things like that going, they rely on basically like 2 weeks of prep time in order for the reforger units to fully like make it to Germany and like be combat ready in time for this, for a conflict. And in this scenario, it looks like we had less than 24 hours before we knew that the Soviets were coming over the border, and coming over the border hard. Yeah, I'm gonna move the ADA guys a little bit. Not like they're doing much. But yeah, so we weren't even like fully coalesced, and in the meantime, they're beating the piss out of 3rd ACR, they're beating the piss out of 1st Armored, all of these guys, these Soviet armies are just kind of rampaging. The Czechs, the East Germans, and so by it's day 4 in the game's timeline, and it's like the morning of day 4 in the game's timeline, and us as a brigade aren't even like all in one place between like Spetsnaz and Soviet airstrikes and chemical contamination, everything. Uh, you know, we're just kind of ragtag and strung out. And so one of the things that 416 infantry is doing is fighting this kind of protracted withdrawal, uh, while they essentially like this fighting withdrawal while they the rest of the brigade gets up to speed and you know gets up to the line with us. This is kind of we are the forward edge of the battle area, or the FIBA as weirdos call it. Anyways, I will have blabbered on enough. Let's go for the next cycle. Let's go. 35 minutes this time. As our readiness decreases, the command cycle time will increase, unfortunately. Man, I sure hope 1 Alpha 334 1st Platoon are able to either A, spot those tanks, yeah, fuck you guys, or B, blap them. Hopefully they're not even there in the first place. Let's see. Well, there were vehicles there. Ah, piss! Fuck. Alright, they're getting lucky with artillery. They're they're dropping rounds on my headquarters. That's not good. I've been moving constantly. It's so frustrating. But yeah, I've been giving a lot of orders, so presumably we've been making a lot of radio calls. Fuck, man. Oh, I should also get those fisters off the same grid as... Yikes, that is scary. Get those fisters off the same grid as those tanks, because those tanks are going to draw fire, and I do not want my fisters taking fire. Fuck you guys. Yeah, they're flanking around. Looks like they're going to try and sneak in across one of these bridges. But there's... Damn it. Yep, and lost a 577. The game, so technically I'm in this according to the game, like in this headquarters, in that talk. And we're moving, so in theory we are like probably buttoned up in our 577s or our Vics or whatever. But like hopefully, yeah, there we go. The game will tell me if I die, basically, is what I'm trying to say. The game will say, hey, you okay, lost a 50 cal. Well, that was a waste. The game will say essentially, you have been killed, sucks to suck. And that's, you've been killed because they shelled the fuck out of your headquarters, which, hey man, should have moved more. Thought I was. And that enemy company is being whittled down to size. There's at least another company over there, but I can't stop anybody. I can't stop everybody. Like, just being realistic. I could probably pull some of my scouts down southeast of Göppingen across the river to just keep eyes over there. Well, we made him pay for it. I wish we had stopped them a little more decisively in that regard. Good. Fuck you, buddy. Hey, the Fisters did a time on target barrage, probably, and really wrecked their day. Good. 120s are no joke. Everybody should know that. Hey, the Fisters are doing work. I did not call any of these in manually. These are all called in by the Fire Controls or Fire Directions Control Center, and these are all via reports from the forward observers. This is one of the reasons why, you know, neglect Fisters at your own peril, I should say. And good, fuck you. Looks like they've got a bunch of D30s up here, which are 122mm howitzers. Bringing them in close. My guess is they were trying to follow their. Good, fuck you. Hit him. Oh, miss. Oh well. Win some, you lose some. But my guess is they were trying to send that. Probably that might be an artillery battalion. Send that in behind the infantry battalion that snuck through. So there's two batteries right there, and it looks like my turn is about to be in. Don't kill that Sam, please. And the Shulkas are doing what everybody was afraid of back then. Oh, mortars doing counter battering. All right. Well, the Cav did good work over on our right. I am going to try and annihilate this battery. With a mix of high explosive and oh, god damn it, it's gonna make it take longer. Well, whatever. High explosive and ICM, so cluster rounds, air bursting, and improved conventional munitions. Essentially, like that's the cluster rounds, and high explosive, you know, point detonator or even air. They're probably air burst, but maybe point detonating. I don't know. I'm not calling for fire. That's not my job. I'm an infantryman. I can call for fire. I'm pretty bad at it. I would need a refresher. But I can do it. Anyways, let's move the brigade headquarters again. Because they just got hit, so why not screen? Morale is low. I don't blame them. 57%. Let's move it to Reich. Although, okay, not a lot of units out of command range. Third platoon Delta. Why? Why are you sad? See staff tab. They are contaminated. All right, I am going to have them move hasty to here and rest and resupply. I was kind of wondering about that. If I'm gonna have them rest and resupply for 51 minutes, which will be well until well after the mission is done, but whatever, who cares? So wondering, I couldn't remember the process for what happened when a unit got contaminated. It's been a minute, um, and I'm not exactly happy that it happened. Damn it. I'm also going to have these mortars try and support the other infantry. I am all about beating the fuck out of enemy, like, enemy artillery. The more of them die, the better. But I also need, what was it, Bravo Company, Alpha Company? Yeah, I need Alpha Company to survive. And they're not being overrun, but they're dealing with some stuff. They're going through it right now. Okay, I really could use eyes further up that road. But I don't really have the means. I am gonna pull some of these scouts and send them to give me eyes over here. And with their brads, they should be able to, defend themselves a little bit. But yeah, and I'm also being a lot more specific with my damn fucking routing, so that they don't get fucking LT's good idea ferry and get lost wandering through the fucking chemical nightmare land. Anyways, let's roll. I probably got barely enough time for the next turn, or if I don't, then I will save midway and pick it up later. But this and the last video will probably be edited together into one release on YouTube. Anyways, appreciate it. Yeah, let's go. 34 minutes. So it seems like the two losses we took in the barrage weren't significant enough to substantially reduce our command cycle time. It's probably because, there we go, fuck you, and the horse you rode in on. It's probably because like, we were already in pretty good shape organization-wise. Good. And we were in pretty good shape, like... See, the high explosive have been falling already. That's a shame. Get that Shilka. Man. I cannot imagine a more nightmare scenario than being an infantryman. There we go. Miss. Being an infantryman facing like a ZSU 23-4 in close combat, like in urban combat. That to me is a nightmare. Well, normally the high explosive does a bit more, but it's entirely possible that good. That because they're in the trees, that does provide some level of cover. Well, they don't have a lot of intel about where my guys are, and so it looks like a mortar unit has found itself in the pain seat. I think an enemy artillery unit just drove itself into a minefield. Love to see it. Don't love to see that. Oh, damn it. 2 M113s destroyed. Alright. You hate to see it. Alright, they still hold that town. To me, that's the important thing. Mark 19. No, that sucks. Alright, my scouts are starting to move down to screen on the right-hand side. I really don't think they're going to push down very far. Soviet units, when they start taking like significant losses like this, and you start pressuring them, well, and they punch through. They seem to not really exploit too much more. You know, I don't really trust the initiative. Sucks to suck. But I don't really trust the initiative of like the Soviet company commander as much as like the Soviet battalion or regimental commander. Those guys, you know, there's a substantial difference. All right, 3rd Platoon Delta is gonna go decontaminate itself. It's gonna take a fucking hot minute. We're gonna pull up all the special troops with all the big scrub brushes. Get all the decontamination paper and all that. It'll be real awkward. The decontamination wipes, pardon me, and the detector paper. I think we annihilated that battery, which is good. I don't think they're going to break through today unless they got something else to throw against me. I really don't want to have the mission finished via time, because that might limit the ability of us to recover all of our units. One of the things, one of the systems that we saw in the last mission many videos ago was the game's propensity for, the game's like system where if an enemy is massively degraded, say, I don't know where all these mortars are falling. If an enemy is massively degraded, then they'll activate essentially sudden death, where, hey, game over for them. They are regrouping on the battlefield. They're trying to leave. They press the go home button. And as such, oh good, Alpha Company moved just in time. And as such, the game actually gives you more ability to recover fallen out subunits. So like, a tank that is detracked, if the enemy gives up their attack and is falling back, it's a lot easier to recover the tank that's detracked. Whereas if they run out of steam and the pressure lets up somewhat because they're like out of steam, but they're not like ripped to shreds, ripped to smithereens, then that's a different discussion, I'd say. And I'm just gonna finish up the match. Oh, and they're out of ammo. They got ordered to fire, and then they're out of ammo. Yes, I know they're out of ammo. All right, so there's 5 minutes left. I'm just gonna have the thing go. I've got a couple minutes left of my lunch break. Yeah. So, but this will take just a couple of minutes to go through. Considering 25% losses, if you count fallouts, like I'll take it. All right, let's go. I'd rather do sudden death on the enemy, but whatever. I think we don't really have any units like cut off. Oh shit, Nikes. That's where the enemy is. All right, they've got at least a company across the river. Which, I mean, okay, you got leakers. You can't prevent that entirely. I would say two Brads would be able to get some kills. Good. Good. Brads against BTRs to me is not a fair fight. I mean, Amitas will kill a Brad though. To me, Brads versus BTRs look like lunch for the Brads. Alright, hey, that's it. A tactical win. Command congratulates you and rates your performance as competent and professional. First Infantry Division finished the battle with 74% by victory point value. Okay, whatever. 77% by number. We claimed 15 recce units, 7 helicopters, 29 tanks. That's almost an entire tank battalion. 103 APCs. Yikes. 38 infantry units, 4 self-propelled anti-tank units, 16 blah blah blah, 16 arty units. Nice. Congratulations to your men. They've earned a total of 3 awards for heroism and combat leadership. Your force took significant losses, 6% permanent, 17% fallen out, and must refit for a moderate time to recover the 49 fallen out subunits. Alright. Alright, I'm going to go over a quick AAR regarding Mission 2, Scenario 2, of the American campaign. Here I am at the launch screen for Scenario 3 because I kind of screwed up the whole being able to see all the after-action stuff, but I did take some notes. So 3rd Brigade forward, 1st Infantry Division, was working at, I would say, about half strength that last mission defending Geppingen and the river crossings. We had 416 Infantry, which was stuck in pretty hard to the fighting. They've suffered some casualties, but they're still combat effective. We also had Alpha Troop 334 armor, which showed up toward the end, which didn't take any losses. We also had maybe some of their scouts took. I think they lost a Brad or 2, but that's replaceable. Charlie Troop 334 Cav, who was assigned to 416, they took significant losses, but a lot of them have been replaced. In the exchange, we essentially rendered a motor rifle regiment like combat ineffective. We've basically taken them out of the fight for the foreseeable future. They took significant losses. I think something like 40%, something like 20% permanent losses and 40% losses overall, which is catastrophic. Or more than 40%, I think. But anyways, we definitely destroyed at least 1 motor rifle battalion. Motor rifle regiment has 3 motor rifle battalions and 1 tank battalion. The tank battalion was essentially completely destroyed. Based on our estimated kills and claims, we destroyed 4. We estimate to have destroyed 39 out of the 40 tanks that are assigned to that regiment. Those kills and claims probably have some overlap, and there's going to be some overclaiming. That's not natural, but let's just say that tank battalion is scraps now. So they definitely have 1 motor rifle battalion that can probably be reconstituted in relatively short order. Those are the guys who drove into the VX. They took some losses, but a lot of those are going to be they can kind of find replacements and bring that back into action. The other motor rifle battalion, based on estimates, is probably down below half strength. Definitely will take considerable time to resupply and refit. So I would say 1 motor rifle battalion completely destroyed, 1 tank battalion completely destroyed, 2 motor rifle regiments or motor rifle battalions heavily damaged. So that motor rifle regiment is out of the fight. The motor rifle division has 2 other motor rifle regiments, 1 in BTRs, 1 in BMPs, and 1 tank regiment. We encountered the leading elements of the tank regiment, which would have 3 tank battalions and 1 rifle regiment. There are 1 rifle battalion, pardon me. And I think we savaged that rifle battalion for the tank regiment pretty good. That was what Charlie Troop ran into in Scenario 1. So looking at our scenario, that allowed us to pull south. That is going to allow us to pull south and link up with the rest of the brigade, which has been consolidating in these hills east of Kirchheim and the Neckar crossings. This is guarding. This is forming the primary defensive position for the, when that's facing the Soviet drive on the very valuable NATO rear areas around Stuttgart. So that brings us to scenario 3.